Okay, we are starting on our stone wall, and just to refresh, I'm using a stone wash. I love this yarn in the dark gray color. It has that multi-tonal color. Gets very nice and stony looking when I'm working on it. And I went ahead and I chained 53. Go ahead and pause this for a second and go ahead and get your chain started. And then when you're ready, we're going to single crochet in the third chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3. And we're going to single crochet in the next chain. Now in the next chain, we're going to do an extended single crochet. So it starts out like normal. You pull up, you yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Let's take that out and do it again. So you insert, pull up 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, okay? And it kind of makes a taller single crochet, which actually makes a really nice border around these stitches later on. So we're going to keep doing that same pattern all the way across. We're going to do a single crochet in 2, and we're going to do that extended single crochet in the third. Pull up 1 loop, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Do regular single crochet in 2, do your extended single crochet. Pull up, go through 1, go through 2. All right, keep going and finish up this beginning chain, and I'll meet you back over here. All right, so you're going to want to review and make sure that in this beginning chain you have 52, and that it's going to include this beginning chain over here where we turned and worked the first single crochet. This is going to be included, okay? So that's part of your stitching. So 52 is what you want. We're going to go ahead and chain 2 on this end, and we're going to turn our work. Now, we're not going to work into this one. We're going to start in this one. We want to double crochet in here. Now, we are going to do what's called a slant cluster. All right, so that means we're going to yarn over, and around the post of that double crochet, we are going to do 1, 2, and 3. We're going to pull through all but the last one, and then we'll yarn over, pull through the last 2, skip this single crochet here, and do an extended single crochet in the extended single crochet. We will double crochet in the next single, do a slant cluster, which is yarn over, yarn over, yarn over, pull up all the way, almost all the way through, yarn over, pull through 2, do an extended single crochet by skipping this one, okay, double, slanted cluster, skipping the next single, extended single crochet. All right, now hopefully you can start to see how these little clusters are going sideways now, and these extended single crochets create kind of a border in between. Now this is the right side of our work technically, but we are not going to be using this side of our work for the blanket. We're going to flip it over, and we're going to use this because these stick out a little more and create more of a stone look. But keep going. Finish up this row. skip single, extended, double in the next, slanted cluster, almost all the way through 2, skip 1, extended. Okay, go ahead and finish up this row. I'll meet you other. Here I've made it all the way across that first row, and I'm down to the last single crochet and then that turning chain. So we're gonna skip that last single crochet, and in the turning chain, we are going to put an extended single crochet to end off that row. All right, now chain 2 and turn. And see how lumpy that is? I love the bumps on the back side of this because it just seems more stony to me than the front side. The front side is just a little too subtle. All right, so we are going to now single crochet into the slanted cluster, which from this side, when we finish off the slanted cluster, remember we go through that last 2, so we're creating kind of a single crochet looking stitch, and that's where we're going to start. So we're going to single crochet there, and in the next, and we're going to extended single crochet into the extended single crochet. So essentially it's just like the starting chain, and every other row is actually going to be this row. So single crochet in 2, extended single crochet in the next. Continue that all the way across. And also to make sure that we're doing all the same thing, every chain 2 that you start with is considered a usable stitch space when you are going back through your row. So when I get to that chain 2 space on this end, I did my extended single crochet there. So go ahead, chain 2, turn your work. Now this is the row that we're gonna begin establishing the space that our door is gonna set into in the wall. So we're gonna double crochet in the next, slant cluster, extended single crochet in the next extended, so skipping that one, going this one, double crochet in next, slant cluster, and we're going to do this a total of 3 times. Skip, extended, double, slant, skip, and extended. Okay, so we did our slant clusters 3 times and ended with an extended single crochet 3 times. So next in the pattern it says to double crochet into the next 32 stitches. So we're just going to do regular old double crochet into 32. Nothing fancy, don't have to count other than to, oh, but here's a tip. This actually kind of helps me because with the colors the way that they are, the stitches all just kind of blend into each other after a while. So what I did to help myself on the rows that I had to double crochet over so many stitches is I would count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 22, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Okay, I have to 32 double crochet into 32 stitches. So what I would do is I would mark the next stitch after the 32nd. So this is going to be the last spot that I double crochet in, and this is where I will begin my repeat again for the slant clusters. So it just helps me to, and if I'm feeling lazy and I don't want to have to count it out as I'm going, then that's what I do. All right, keep going and put in your 32 double crochets. Okay, so after I have double crocheted into 32, in the pattern it says the next one we're going to do an extended single crochet in. So it's kind of backwards. We're starting a little bit backwards from here because we ended with an extended single crochet. So we're going to do our extended here. We're going to do our double here and our slant cluster. Skip one, do your extended, double, skip, do your extended, double, skip, and do your extended in the chain 2 turn from the row below. Okay, chain 2 and turn. So see how now you've got a flat section in the center here where you've got stones on either side, and your door is going to fit right in here. We're going to create a space for it. Now, rows 5 through 18 are going to repeat row 3 and row 4. So the row that we're going to be working on now, because it is row 5, is actually going to be repeating row 3. So you'll do the single crochet, extended all the way across, and then you'll flip and do where you have your slant clusters. All right, so I want you to work through row 18, and then I'll meet you back over here and we'll do where we're starting to curve in our clusters for the door. Okay. Alrighty, so I finished through row 18, and now we are going to move on to row 19, which is actually going to be a repeat of row 3. So we are going to chain 2, which I've already done. Single crochet in the cluster, and extended single crochet. So this is going to just be a repeat. So keep going, and I'll meet you back here at row 20. Done with 19, and I'm going to chain 2, which I did, and turn. Okay, so here we are going to do our normal slant cluster. But this time we are going to do this a total of 4 times instead of just the 3 that we were doing before. So what we're working on is we're going to start creating the space for the arch of our door on our stone wall. Okay, so here's the third one that we normally do. Okay, and now we're going to go one more, do another slant cluster. Finish with that extended single crochet. Okay, so now we've got 4 going across, and when you look at the bumpy side, it's going to be 1 extra one on this area. So that's going to, of course, reduce the amount of double crochets you go across the center because we're building our stones in. And so that means we're going to double crochet in 26. So go ahead and do that. I just did my 26th one, so the next stitch that we do is going to be the extended single crochet, and now we're going to start our slant cluster again, and we'll make another 4 of these on this side. Does not want to go through. Okay. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm sure you can see that that's kind of frayed and funky looking. I'm not going to worry about that because by the time that I get back around to this stitch, see, it's already hidden in there. You're never going to see it. All right, one more. Okay, and then skipping and putting our extended single crochet into the chain 2 turning, or the turning chain 2, I should say. Chain 2 and turn. Alrighty, let's take a look at our wall. See how it's beginning to progress. Maybe a little far away, but now you're starting to build your stones going inward. So when you put your door in here, it's all gonna just fit exactly. All right, so let's see. Row 20 is gonna be a repeat of, actually row 21 and 22 are gonna repeat rows 19 and 20 that you just did. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you do the next 2 rows, which are gonna be a repeat of 19 and 20. So the single crochet, extended single crochet row, this is what you're gonna do now. And then when you turn it over, you're gonna do another row with 4 here, 26 here, and 4 here. Okay, I have completed row 21 and 22, so now I've got 2 rows that are right on top of each other. All right, so what we're gonna do is every other row basically at this point is going to be like row 3 where we do the single, single, extended single. So what we'll do from this point on is we'll work together on the let's see what those are, the even rows. So we'll work together on the even rows to do the stitch counts, but I'm going to go ahead and let you do the odd rows on your own because we're well versed in pretty much all the stitches in this for now, but there are going to be some changes coming up in row 24, 26, and 28 that are going to impact the way that your stone looks. So we'll work through those together. Alrighty, we're going to start row 24. So double crochet and then do your slant cluster. Now we're going to do this a total of 5 times instead of the 4 that we did for the series before. We're just going to do this 3 more times. All right, one more time. Excuse me, for the slant cluster. And then on row 24, we're going to double crochet in 20 across the center and then finish up with 5 of the clusters on this side. Okay? Okay, so I kind of cheated and jumped ahead on row 26 already. 26, we are going to be doing the slanted clusters a total of 7 times. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you want to pause this and catch up to me, go ahead, but I'm going to go ahead and put in the last 2 clusters. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now we're going to do 8 single crochet, or not single, double crochets. Three, 6, 7, and 8. All right, we're going to do another 7 clusters on this side. And we start that with an extended single crochet. And whoops, then start working our cluster. Alrighty, keep going across, and then when you get to this end, don't forget, you put your extended single crochet into your chain 2 turn, and then go ahead and do your odd row, and then I'll meet you back here for row 28. I did it again. Row 28, I ended up starting it and then realized, hey, I'm supposed to be on camera, so here I am. I'll give you a minute, go ahead and catch up with your slant cluster, and then we're going to go ahead and let's see, row 28, we are going to we're going to go all the way across. Alrighty, so this row we're not going to do any double crochets in the center area, okay? So this row we're just going to do our slant clusters all the way across, and then we are going to rows 29 through 32, we are going to repeat rows 27 and 28. So 29, 30, 31, 32. You're going to do the odd row twice, the even row twice, okay? And then according to the pattern, we're going to do row 33, which is the odd row, and that's where we're going to finish off. So I'm actually going to let you finish this up, and then I will come back and we will go ahead and work on the rest of finishing up the center square. Okay, I have finished row 33, which is an odd row, which means it's just the single, and the extended single. I'm going to go ahead and cut this off. And this is the last time that you're going to have to work with this particular gray, unless you choose to work it somewhere else in the blanket, but I only bought this for this area, so I'm going to get rid of that. And then I'm going to go ahead and tuck in my ends. And we are actually going to start working with black now and putting the first couple of rounds of what I'm calling black lace. So, okay. And I lost my scissors. Okay. I can remove this. This is going to be the front side of your work. This is the correct side. This is the what we're calling the stone wall side. So if you look, you don't want the side that has no bumps at all. You want the side that has bumps. And you want that facing you. We are going to start in this. This is the left. This is the right. We're going to start in the upper right-hand corner in that chain 2 turn at the end of the last row, or the beginning of the last row. Okay. Now get into that chain 2. See how I'm in there? And pull your yarn through. We're going to chain 1, And in the same space, we're going to single crochet, chain 3, and single crochet. Okay, now we are going to chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to be working across the top of the wall right now. And you can just kind of shove that to the side. We don't need that. You're going to skip 2 stitches. So 1, 2, you'll single crochet. 4 and 5, skip another 2, and single crochet, chain 5. And skip 2, single crochet. So we're going to continue that all the way across. We did that, yes. That all the way across to this corner. I'll meet you over here. Okay, we are gonna do the last chain 5. And in the very end here where we have our last, yeah, that would be our last extended single crochet. We're going to use that and put a single crochet. We're making another corner here, so we're gonna chain 3. And we're going to put another single crochet into that same space. Now we're turning the work on a 90-degree angle here so that we can start working down the side. We are going to do more chain 5s and skips going down the side. You're going to want a total of 16 down the side. And if you look, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 rows with the stones. To use as a marker for us going down the side is going to be these stones. So we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're skipping this and we're going to single crochet in the end of the row with the stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip all this stuff, go into the end of the row with the stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, into the end with the stone. Okay. Okay, so this is what you're going to continue doing all the way down this side, and when you reach the end you're going to do another skip here and do a single crochet, chain 3, single crochet in the corner. You'll turn your work again and work along the bottom edge of the square, doing the same kind of single crochet, skip 2, single crochet in there. Do the same corner treatment. You'll turn your work again and you'll do the exact same chain 5, skip, and single crochet into the ends with the stones until you get back up over here where you have your first single crochet, and you're going to slip stitch in there. I'm going to go ahead and let you complete this going around. This is where we're at right now, but it's going to remain the same. So since we've done the top already and we're doing the side now, it just continues the same pattern all the way around. So go ahead and finish that up. I will meet you back up over here where you have your first single crochet, and then we'll do the second row of the black lace. All right, I'm all joined up over here. So I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into the corner. We are going to then chain 1, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet. We are going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, let's get that turned right. Single crochet in the next chain 5 space, and then repeat that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and single crochet in the next chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and single. 1, 2, 3, 4, and single. Okay, so this is what we're creating all the way around. When you get to your corners, you're going to single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, and then you're going to chain 4 and single in the next chain 5 all the way around. It's pretty simple on this row. So go ahead and finish that off. When you get to your starting side over here, slip stitch with the first single crochet. Hopefully you're in a well-lit area. I know working with black is hard, but we won't be working with black again until we get done with the next section, which is week number 2. But what we do have to finish up our stone wall with the door before we finish this week. So go ahead and get this row done. When you get over here, slip stitch and go ahead and cut off your black. You can tuck in your ends if you like. And then when we come back, we're going to stitch our door in place. Alrighty? Alrighty, now that we have our black lace done and in place, we are going to focus on putting our door on. Now, your door might be a little bit bigger than the space that you created on your stone wall, and that's okay. It doesn't have to fit exactly inside that. It was basically just created so that you had a guide. Now mine is a little bit roomy on the bottom here, and then it kind of squeezes in a little bit right here, which that's okay too. So I'm going to actually pull a little bit, and this is when your handy dandy straight pins are going to come into play again. All right, so I'm going to just start pinning this down. I know my pin thing's a mess, but that's okay. And I am actually going to overlap a little bit. Let me move this up. I'm going to overlap just a little bit over my stones down here. But first thing I'm going to do is pin it so that I can get an idea of where everything is. I'm going to stick one more down here. Okay. Now, I want my door to be straight. So I've got my bottom taken care of. I'm going to actually do my top. Actually, I'm going to kind of do it all at once. So, because where this sits has, you know, something to do with where you have your edges as well. So I'm going to allow my edge to cover up part of that stone. Wish my light was a little bit better over here. See how it kind of covers up that stone a little bit there. Okay, now I'm going to come over to this side, and since I'm covering up the stone a little bit on this side, I'd like to keep things symmetrical if I can. I'm not necessarily going to cover it up completely, but at least bring it over so that it's a little bit more snug, and pin the sides. Okay, and then that's not right. You can just see me stabbing myself with that and bleeding everywhere. Alrighty, now I'm gonna, this is the center of my top. And this side that we created first kind of pulls down a little bit tighter than the decrease side, so we're going to have to stretch it just a little bit so that our center is in the center. Okay, and then I'm going to tack down just one on each of these. Okay, now that I've got my sides in place, I know they're a little puckered, but I'll be careful as I'm tacking it down. Basically, the same way that you tacked your hinges and your doorknob onto the door itself, you're going to go and use the same method to tack your door onto the stone. Give yourself lots of grace in this because this is a huge applique to apply to one piece. So if you find that it's not really sitting where you want it to sit, you know, play with it as you're going, because I can already see where there were some things that were kind of puckering here that I didn't really like. But just move it over and retack it. This tacking is not to necessarily keep it perfect in position, but it is to give you some stability as you're going through and stitching, because I find that if I don't have something nailing it down in one spot, it shifts on me and I end up with really wonky work. So knowing that about myself, I've started using the straight pins for that. So I'm gonna real quick just get this started, and then I'll let you finish up on your own tacking your door down. We'll start together down here on the bottom. And I like to bring the yarn from the back to the front so that I'm starting with a downward stroke. And then I just go along and I will back stitch the whole way. Which means that as I go along, from where I'm at here, I will go back and overlap. Now, I don't necessarily like to go way through in my work because I'm not looking, this is going to be exposed unless you put a backing on your blanket. So I'm not looking to have huge chunks of brown back here. So I'm not necessarily going to be really concerned with hitting every single stitch along the side. Unless you are going to have very active people using this blanket, children, or you know, you feel like it's going to be rough housed with or something like that, then I would say tack it down a little bit more aggressively. But if you are going to be like me, where this is gonna probably sit in a house where very little happens, then I wouldn't worry about it so much, really. All right. And so I'll be honest, I'm mostly going through the stones back here and not necessarily getting all the way to the other side of the blanket. So you can see I've got very little of the brown showing. I don't stress myself about this kind of stuff because for me, a blanket is just a blanket. It's there to be used. It's something beautiful. I love creating it. But to me, you know, this kind of stuff shows the handicraftness of it. And, you know, this is handmade. This is made with lots of love. Now, if stuff like this bothers you, you may want to look into lining the back of your blanket. But if it doesn't, then you know what? March right on with it. Okay, I'm going to just do a couple more on camera with you. And then we'll go ahead and complete this up on our own. And then this is actually going to conclude week 1 for us. So I'll pop back on camera real quick so that we can just kind of ooh and ah at our completed door on the stone wall. Okay, let me just dig that out of there real quick. Okay, so you keep going on this, work it all the way around till you come back to where we started, and then we'll say goodbye in just a little bit. All right, my door is completely attached to my wall. Let's look at the back side. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. There's one side that's pretty brown and I can see all the stitches, but the other side not so much. And around the top, but that, I'm okay with that. That's not screaming out, you know, at me when I look at it. And none of the stitches are big enough for anybody to get fingers or toes or anything like that caught in. So, is my door a little crooked? Yes. Am I going to stress out about it? No. I'm going to move on, and I'm going to, because I'll tell you what, unless it was really cockeyed, nobody's going to see it. And if they do, they're looking too hard. All right, so let's call this a week. I'm going to be back with you for week 2, and we are going to work on the trees portion, and that is going to start on one of the corners as usual. And I'll see you next week.